Hello everybody, how's everybody been? Oh man, we are finally like getting it together and getting back to it after this busy 3-day drift event weekend. They are a lot of fun, but they definitely take it out of you. It's kind of nice in a sense because you're kind of in your own little world when you're there. Like, I don't have time to go on Instagram or send messages or check emails, you know, I'm just there working on the car, driving, hanging out with people, and that's that. Probably put a hat on, I need a haircut. So it's kind of in a sense like a escape from reality, but when you get back, you just got all this stuff piled up to do. Just like between messages and everything alone, and then we got a bunch of work to do on everything. So I do have like a bunch of stuff for the Miata that all kind of came in around the same time. Anyway, one more thing before I tell you guys what we're doing today, which you already know from the title. Probably. Finally got my Swag Off-Road Portaband stand. A lot of you recommended this. It was something I had looked into, but I was not sure if it was one of those things where if you have a Portaband already, it's a good option, but if not, you're better off buying like a dedicated bandsaw. But after seeing all of your comments and then doing more research myself, it is the way to go if you want an affordable metal bandsaw that doesn't take up a ton of shop space, which is exactly what I want. So I need to go to Home Depot today and get the Milwaukee Portaband saw, and I'm gonna get a Milwaukee cordless grinder. But for now, we're finally starting on the Subaru. As much as I want to work on the Miata, because after driving the Z this weekend, I'm just so much more hyped to drive the Miata than I already was. We need to get started on the Subaru just to get the wiring harness out, because it is going to be a time delay before we get that back. So I want to get that going just so that process is started. So charging the battery right now, going to start it up, bring it in, then we can start ripping the wiring harness apart, which, I mean, it's not going to be necessarily hard, but it's just not going to be very fun. Like taking a wiring harness out, you got to like take the whole car apart, but we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Well, the GC8 is dead still. Battery's dead. I mean, it lasted about 2 weeks with the battery hooked up before the parasitic drain killed it, but part of the reason why we're redoing the wiring, obviously there's things staying on that aren't meant to stay on that are killing the battery. It's just jank. So it's just one more reason to go ahead and just knock all this out. So the jump box is dead. So we're gonna run to Home Depot, get the Portaband saw that I need, and get the other stuff. Ben needs boxes, so might as well make the best of our time while we wait for the jump box to charge. We could obviously push the car over here, but we do have other things to do today, so we're lazy. Time management, and we're lazy. Ben is correct. We've been talking about the fact that he is now putting an LS in his Miata.
You can't tell them that, because then they're all gonna judge me for changing my mind.
They judge me. It's they're used to it. I change my mind all the time. Yeah, I almost said Jay-Z. He's decided now LS in his car. Yeah, after this weekend, he had a bunch of car troubles with Eric's car, turbo setup, and I was like, that's why I put an LS in my car, and he's like, crap, and he starts looking again, and here we are, down the dang rabbit hole again. But we did decide that if we're gonna do it, it's gonna be this car instead of the chump car, so that we can still have the chump car and go do racing. After doing kart wheel-to-wheel racing, we really want to do chump car. So camp car now is what it's called. But
yeah, but we're chumps.
We're chumps, so we call it chump car. So anyway, yeah, that's the thing. And then I've got something I want to do to the Z, but we'll talk about that in a later video. I won't bore you guys with my Taylor talking for 10 minutes every video thing. So, because I'll see you guys at Home Depot. You know you love Milwaukee when you drive 20 minutes to Home Depot instead of right down the street to Lowe's, because Lowe's doesn't have Milwaukee stuff, or at least not a lot of it. Gotta find the Portaband saws. We need a drill press too. That is high on the list. See, the thing is, you can get a bandsaw like this, but this is only for wood. It spins too fast to cut steel. You need a belt sander too. This is solid setup. 140 bucks. I'm gonna find one on Amazon. Okay, Portaband saws. We need a cordless grinder. Let's pick that up. There's got to be more. All right, I'll update you guys when I find it. Okay, now grinder. Cordless grinder, brother. There it is. It hurts, guys, but you know how much I love tools. It's like so satisfying but so painful at the same time. All right, we got our Portaband saw, which is very exciting. I've been meaning to buy this for a while, so now we'll finally have a bandsaw, which will be super sick, like cutting stainless, aluminum. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with a bandsaw, especially with the Swag Portaband stand. I'll show you guys when we get it set up. Well, I didn't think about the fact that the bandsaw doesn't come with a blade, so I need to go get a blade. But the grinder is solid. Look at this. It's got like a quick adjust shield, which is super nice. Because that's like the biggest pain with running a shield is if you have it like this and you need to cut something, or if you have it like this and you need to cut something the other way, you know, you got to loosen the bolt and move it around and retighten it. Whereas this, you just like press a little thing. So I'll put that on. We've already killed enough time, so I'm not gonna mess with getting it set up now and going and getting a blade and all that stuff. We need to start working on the GC8, so we're gonna do that. Subaru's inside. We haven't started yet because we've been doing some rearranging. We moved this whole workbench toolbox setup over here. Cleared some room for it. Made like a whole lot more room in here. This is nice. The only thing that sucks about having a lift is when you need to like work on something not on the lift, like something inside the car. You know, you've either got to be like behind the lift or in front of the lift, and neither one works really well, but it don't matter. I would pull it over there. I have plenty of room, but there's this crappy Miata stuck there. No drivetrain in it. All right, so what we need to do to this is pull the entire wiring harness out. So I've been talking to iWire Services, which is who is going to be doing the conversion on the harness. If you guys saw my video about updates, basically my thought process was the wiring needs to be gone through on this car. There's a lot of janky stuff, and I've learned more about how like not ideal it is, the way they set it up. So I've liked tackling wiring to an extent. Like I rewired my whole Miata with ECU Masters PMU and all of that, but like rewiring a car, like a track car from scratch is pretty easy. You're just running circuits. You know, if you know how to wire a fuse, a relay, and a switch, you've got it. It's really not hard. But when you're talking about merging two harnesses together and making all this factory stuff work, where stuff crosses over and interconnects with each other, like it takes so much time to learn and understand the harness and what you need to do that's like the most time-consuming part. So to me, it's worth it. Just leave it to professionals to get a solid, nice harness made that I know I'm not gonna have any issues with, and I know it's gonna do everything I need it to do. So basically, they're gonna merge the RS chassis harness with the WRX chassis harness, from what I understand. And what they did with this car, instead of trying to do that, I'll show you. They basically just installed the WRX harness, which normally, I guess when you do this, you'd do a WRX dash swap, which they did do a gauge cluster swap, which of course doesn't fit. But luckily, they didn't do that. So yeah, I've just got to start pulling this entire harness out, from taillights to headlight stuff. I don't think I've ever opened the trunk in this thing, actually, now that I think about it. So I open up the trunk and check it out. Free Dremel, brothers. Got a free Dremel. So we got like ABS box, airbag sensor, cruise control unit, half the carpet. So I need trunk interior carpet. We got other stuff. Yeah, this really, I mean, wow. It's kind of just, you can see how like the taillight harness is just spliced together. There's a lot of jankiness going on, guys. We got some injectors. Maybe these are the stock ones or the STI ones. Who can comment and tell me? Did they never put the STI ones in, or are these the stock ones? Comment below. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna get to it. I'll update you. Oh my God, is that really trailer wiring? That's trailer wiring.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's beautiful, man. That's ingenuity, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get started. I'll update you guys when I make some progress. Okay, got the seats out, got the center console out, all that stuff. Definitely need to drop the steering column, get the gauge cluster out. I need to go ahead and unhook the battery. Carpet needs to come out to get all the wiring out from underneath. Pull the dash out, pull that wiring out, back seat. Still got a lot to do, but so far it's going easy because like I said, it was like halfway thrown together. Like everything has like one screw in it and that's like loose, and it's really not hard. If this is a bone stock car, it'd be a little more difficult, but 90s cars interiors usually come apart pretty easily. So yeah, just gonna continue on, keep trucking. He's supposed to help me, but he's busy cleaning. So busy cleaning.
What am I supposed to help you with? Pull your seats out?
I don't know. I'm just making fun of you.
Yeah, Taylor's mean to me.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Like this video if you think I'm mean to Ben. Like this video if you wish you were as cool as Al whipping around on your tractor. You can't see him.
One day I want to be Al, okay? Maybe like slightly less alcohol, but...
Oh, Al's a pimp. I miss Al. Well, here's where we're at. Got like the whole interior out. Most of the wiring harness out. I mean, it's all pulled up to the front. What we've got to get now is all this stuff that goes behind the dash, which is mostly undone. We pulled the dash bar out. The main thing is going to be getting it past the AC stuff. We might have to pull the AC stuff off to get it past there. I'm not sure on that. And then it goes into the fender walls on both sides to come up into the engine bay. So we're gonna have to pull the fenders off to get to that. So we're already pulling everything but what's physically attached to the engine. Basically, pretty much all the wiring on the car. Well, this is all the stuff we've accumulated so far out of the GC8. So much stuff, so much stuff. Gonna try to put it all up, find a place for everything, keep it organized, and then get back to work. We need to, I've got it on the lift, need to lift it up and get the rest of the harness out. It looks like it's connected to the starter or something underneath. So that way we can get this fuse block out here. And then we gotta pull the AC. I'll show you guys that when we get there. Wow, that was fun. Such fun. Much fun. We had to pull the dash bar out, pull the AC stuff, the heater core. I mean, you literally have to basically gut the car to get the wiring harness out. But we got it out. So that is a plus. That is a plus. It's very important. And we got it out. It makes a little more sense now why you have to pull the whole thing out, because the ECU wiring is like integrated into the chassis harness, and then it disconnects from the engine itself. Like the engine sub harness is its own thing. There's a couple things that you got to take off, like alternator, I think like an AC compressor plug that I had to take off, but the injectors, the coil packs, like all that stuff, all has these big connectors that disconnect. The chassis harness is one unit. So like I said, this is a like 03 WRX chassis harness with ECU and everything. So they just stuff that whole thing in there instead of trying to merge the GC8 chassis harness with the WRX one, which is what iWire Services is going to do. So it should simplify this mess a lot, and everything will work properly. I can use my stock gauge cluster, you know, locks, ignition, like everything stock will work. It's a much better way to do it. So yeah, it's apart. It's done. We are done. Thank God. It was
it wasn't too bad, but like it was fun.
Fun. I think the reason it felt so rough was because the whole time I was thinking about putting it back together. Like knowing, like, what some of these projects, when you're like, you get real deep into it and you're like, we're getting there, but you're like, oh, I've got to put all this back together.
Yeah, when we had to rip out all the AC and heater.
Yeah, that's what made it tough. But we got it out, and this is really the only way to do it. I mean, you got to suck it up and do it. I guess that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, yeah, I'll be getting this sent out, so hopefully like 3 or 4 weeks or so we'll have it back. We've got stuff to do to it in the meantime, but we're going to jump back on the Miata and just try to like tidy like all the last minute stuff up and get it like done. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. See you guys next time. Say bye, Ben. Hell yeah!